Good morning, friends. Now I am discussing a little more about specialized skills. Process improvement. Every individual is working in a group with a system by the process that has been already worked out by the organization, by the team. Now, what happens is, in this process which has been worked out, tested over time, and then converted to something called work manual or working manual. Now, everybody is supposed to work with that, but rarely you will find some people who are intrigued to improve the process. Everybody keeps on working because thinking that if I start improving now, then this is going to disturb the work, and it is true, it does. But there would be some people working in the team, following the process, coming to an end, but still thinking, can this process be improved? This is a very specialized skill. Innovators, thinkers, entrepreneurial thinkers, such people are generally, they are endowed with this kind of skill, and they start thinking, okay, this is fine, this process is fine, we agreed to it, we are working with it, but if we improve something at this particular stage, probably our benefits are going to be more, result is going to be achieved in a very earlier time, shorter time, we can reduce the total working time, it can reduce the cost, it can be beneficial for some other. Actually, this process improvement skill of individual has really resulted into all kind of innovations, all kinds. You remember that I have talked about some engineer who used to enter into a store and then pick up some of the chips and work in his own home in the night, which was reported by the storekeeper to the boss, and the boss then allowed this person to take that particular item, not calling this as pilferage, but calling this as, okay, take this on loan, do something. Basically what he was trying is, he was doing his job all through. The person who was taking that particular chips out every day, maybe whatever chips, he was basically working with the process, but he was working like anybody else working in the process. He is endowed with that specialized skill in which he was thinking, I think the process can be improved further. So what he knew that if he asked for permission, the boss will not give that, because it is going to hamper the targets or even the products. It will reopen a Pandora's box of the process of the work. So he wouldn't do that. Understood that this gentleman is not doing it, not taking that particular chips out to sell it to the market for his personal gain. Probably he is thinking something different, something beyond the process. So he may be doing something great. So given him that opportunity and the liberty, not making it public and ridiculing him in public. So give him that opportunity. That person, when he got a little bit of comfort that he is no longer going to be questioned on picking up which chips he wants, and then he works out in his home and ultimately comes back and comes with a product which is much superior to what the product they were developing over the years. This is how things work, and this is innovation. Many innovation, as I said, has come out of the specialized thinking of or skills of thinking about process improvement. Professional ethics, as I said, business ethics, it's similar. In business, you are trading. In profession, you are working together, or maybe you are interacting with others. Similar, same thing, similar things what I have discussed earlier. Reaching targets is a specialized skill. This, if you work in a team, you realize that when you are given certain responsibility, you have been given a time frame within which you have to work, and there is a target, and you try to excel, you try to do good. But one thing happens, if you are trying to make it excelled, then more precision, more precise works you try to do. In the process, you tend to lose the targets in your mind, that when, by when, up to what extent we are supposed to give. So reaching target is also a specialized skill. Not everybody has it, and not necessarily that everybody should have it. Not necessarily. If in the team there is one or two persons who are specialists in it, who can foresee the targets and who can always judge at every point of progress that where it is likely to disturb the target, then he comes up with the solutions and modifications of the process, and then ultimately reaches the target. Otherwise, if everybody tries to reach the target, then who is going to innovate or improve the quality of the services? It is always better that let 2-3 persons think about the targets, rest keeps on improving the qualities, and improving the qualities is boundless, endless. If you are the decision maker and you are trying to reach the target, and now you get bogged down with improving the qualities and making it more precise, more improved, then you are likely to miss the target. So, there should be somebody in the team who is going to tell you that, okay, you are missing the target, and he also has to come out with a solution or some kind of suggestion that how improving the quality is still reach the target. So, it is a specialized skill. Research is very, very mindset, intrinsics. You have a conjuncture, you observe something, and then you find that if you have observed something, you have a feeling, you have a contention, you have a conjuncture, you have a hypothesis in your mind, you have a research question in your mind, and then you keep on pursuing that, is a specialized skill. It is because of which everybody is not a researcher. And if everybody was a researcher, then there wouldn't have been anybody called worker. Worker, I am not talking as a social class, I am saying worker means who works, who ultimately executes. Everybody cannot be a researcher. That is why in a big team, there are certain sets who are identified and assigned jobs for research. There is another set who are executing the works, implementing the works. Okay? Everybody is important, but the researchers are specialized. Research skill to a great extent is supported by the academic qualifications. So, quite often what happens is we consider that somebody who has demonstrated his ability to do research by qualification, hard skill, we take him in the team and then allow him to pursue research which is our product specific or business specific. Okay? That means there is a demonstration already, but not necessarily every researcher has to have a qualifying PhD degree or DSc degree or maybe postdoc degree. No, not necessarily. Research is the mindset. You observe a problem, you find out a gap, and then you work out the process by which you try to dig into it and try to see what is happening. In the whole research, sometime you might have perceived something, you are thinking this is my question, this happens because of this, and in the whole process of researching then you find no, it does not happen because of this, you thought it is because of this. That is also research. That means you are now establishing a fact by process, saying that what I visualized, what I had a question thinking this happens like this, it does not work that way. That is also productive research. Retreating, I have said earlier as well. The exiting is moving out and delinking. Retreating is temporarily coming backward. Quite often retreating is very helpful, but every time retreating is negative. Retreating means if you see the progressing at this point one step further is going to be counterproductive, then you go one step backward. Watch. I have already explained. It allows you to buy time, allows you to make strategies, allows you to make teamworks, allows you to work the next steps. Okay. Then scheduling is a specialized skill. Scheduling, if you try to do with respect to the time required, then it becomes a mathematical exercise. This work, this much time, this work, next is this much time, this much time is very easy. It is mathematical, plus, 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 plus on this. But actually scheduling is a mind game. Whenever you are in the business or in the profession, you will find that quite often you have multiple works which are going parallelly. And individual scheduling, your own personal day scheduling, work scheduling is very, very, very specialized skill. I will have more discussion on this, which is very specific to the scheduling when I will talk about the time management. But every individual anyhow, knowing or unknowingly, is doing the scheduling. People who are slightly flexible, you do not think that they have not scheduled. They are also scheduling, only thing is they are flexible in their schedules. And if suppose they had action A followed by action B and then followed by action C, and then he works out and finds out that action B can be now deferred for some time and C can be brought forward. So, he does it immediately. You do not think that he is indecisive, you do not say that he is something, you do not say that he is indecisive, you do not also say that he cannot make a proper schedule. Basically, he is a very strong schedule expert. He knows exactly when to swap one activity with another one. So, this swapping is going to help. Okay. So, this is the kind of scheduling that you are doing. So, scheduling means you are working out the sequences of work assigned with certain time constraints or time frame, targeted with certain deliverables or received. That means either you give or you get. Okay. Scheduling is one very specialized skill. As I said again, I will repeat, it is not a mere mathematical exercise of time required and then adding it up. No. Setting targets, every individual sets targets for their own life. When it comes to business, when it comes to profession, setting targets is very specific. If you are in this business today, you set the targets, and setting target is a good skill. For this, you require a strong foreseeing power, strong forecasting power, strong teamwork, which is going to help you in reaching that particular targets. So, you set the target. Blindly setting the target is very unwise. If somebody sets a target that I want to be this, then it may appear to be daydreaming. But if somebody sets a target, analyzing his strengths and weaknesses, and then he sets, this is what we would like to achieve. Setting target does not mean simply declaring what you want to achieve. You also have to now declare by what time, by what sequence, who are the team players, how do you do it, how do you finance it, what kind of qualification you do require, what qualities you do require, what expenses you have to bear with it, what is the chances of getting loss, or what is the chances of your profit. Setting targets is this. It is not simply saying we want to achieve. That way everybody every time can always set the targets, but that is not really the setting targets. Setting targets with all constraints, limitations and the strengths. So, basically we say that when you set the targets, you use your SWOT analysis: strength, weakness, opportunities and threats. Opportunities is the benefits, threats is the negatives, the loss. Strength is what you can do, weakness is what you cannot do. Now, you can strengthen the strength and you can reduce the weakness by strengthening it further. That means now you set your target for achieving a business. Now, you just connect everything. A person who is very aware of the business trend, now he sets a target, I want to do this business. That is how he starts. He has nothing. It is only his mind that is triggering him to think based on the facts and figures that he had acquired from the newspapers or the media or from the other sources or from eavesdropping, whatever. He has acquired some information and now he wants to do some business. Once he decides that he wants to do the business, then immediately he does a SWOT analysis of his strength, himself rather, and his organization. He starts analyzing that, okay, for doing this kind of business, what kind of qualities or qualifications we do require, what manpower we do have, what qualities and qualifications I do personally have. Can I do this? Can I do this alone? How many persons do I require as a support? Which are the kind of experts I do not want them to be in the team? Who may be the impediments in the team in terms of progress? He is thinking about everything. Then he is thinking about, okay, if I do not have this manpower, how to hire this manpower? Who are the authorities or who are the organizations who can help me in hiring this manpowers? Then what will be my cost? Always, I will tell you, for any business, we always try to see the benefit cost ratio. If your benefit cost ratio is positive, then it is good, and if your benefit cost ratio is negative, then it is better that you drop that target. Okay? So, don't be overestimating your benefits and don't underestimate your cost. So, your B by C is a very critical indicator, and how much foresight you have, that will govern this. Okay? So, set your targets accordingly. This is a specialized skill which is being technology savvy. I have used this somewhere again earlier. Technology savvy is like if the whole system is now having an enormous technological change since I think 1997 or 96. There is a sea change in the whole technological approaches, technological gadgets, technological tools, and the networking, the wireless, worldwide WWW system, World Wide Web, the network, all these have become such a item today that it has become a part of our lifestyle. If I cannot communicate with somebody in the absence of a cell phone, I start feeling handicapped. People are, throwing away the landline phones. That means the whole system, technology has changed such. It is always for the positive. Since I am a positive thinker, I am not ready to listen to somebody who is saying that the technological advancement is also negative. Everything has negative. But the thing is, look at the positive side of it and make best use of it. So, being technology savvy is very important. I cited certain example earlier. It is okay if you are technology savvy, when you do the business and your technology savviness is exposed, then you earn a respect. Otherwise what happens is people think that you have a dream, but you are handicapped. You have to depend on your colleagues who are technology savvy. My point is, individually, specialists are very technology savvy. That does not mean that they can write programs and codes. No, I said that earlier also. It's not that. It is any technological tools or gadgets which are available, you at least know how to operate it. I remember one situation in one of the other countries, my experience one of the other countries, European countries. We were having a presentation and suddenly the laptop when it was connected to the LCD projector, it was not projecting, it was blank screen. You must have noticed one thing, we jokingly say this, whenever in need of some gadgets, the gadget starts malfunctioning at the point of when you are really going to use. Laptop worked, LCD worked. The moment you have fixed everything for presentation, then you find nothing works. It's a very common thing people say that it does not work in the right time. Okay? But whatever. There were about say 20-25 people, all were experts, many of them technologically very savvy. But however, the person who is responsible for the LCD and this laptop interfacing, I considered him to be the most technology savvy for that particular operations. He was also not being able to do something. Then my friend, on whose invitation I went to that country, he was sitting opposite to me. He also tried, nothing worked. Then somehow he just asked, can you try? I said, they are experts, I am not, but let me try. I had a feeling that there is one button, if I press, it is going to link, and I did that. The function something, function F some key. You won't believe it, the moment I did it, the whole screen had all projections. I got a clap. That made me, then after, everybody started thinking I am very technology savvy. Okay, I was technology savvy like anybody else. Only thing is, at that point of time, I retrieved that, okay, this is the kind of problem I faced earlier as well. And the moment I pressed function and that key F something, it worked. It impressed everybody, and then it just broke the ice between all of us. This is something which are very, very specialized thing which comes up. It's not very common. Okay, so I stop here up to this discussion. Again, I'll continue with few more points on this specialized skills. Idea is, if you want to be a specialist, then you have to demonstrate that you are a specialist. Being a specialist and keeping within yourself makes no sense. If you really want to do something, demonstrate, express. Like, I'll just take cue from here. Process improvement is your intrinsic skill. So you can be treated as a specialist because you have a mindset for every time improving the process without hindering the progress. Number one. Number two is reaching targets. Whatever best quality you do have, whatever best quality you possess, okay, you should always be a specialist in reaching the targets in time, the quantity. In between, suppose you have to sacrifice or compromise on a little bit of quality, that nobody is going to notice, but everybody is going to notice that how much days you have delayed. So you should know that where you are going to compromise, which is unnoticeable and not really contrary to the objective of the project, and reaching the targets. Researching is by virtue of your mindset, that how you do it. Setting targets is your vision, which is going to help you in setting the targets. So vision is one terminology which I have never used in this. Vision, you should be able to envision things. Okay? We say that people see but don't observe. Some people see, everybody sees everything, but some people do observe. That means now seeing and then trying to analyze is the matter of intellection. Okay? Now here, setting targets is a very strong thing where your visionary power will help you. And all visionaries, they can only see the result of it once they start envisioning it and execute it and reach the target and see the results. Okay? That is how you should look at all these skills. Now, next points when I'll discuss, then I'll give a summary discussion on this the next day. Thank you very much.